Go. Alright, today we're going to talk about the Saffir-Simpson Hurricane Wind Scale. First we're going to talk about who developed the scale, how it was developed, and how it works. So the scale was developed by engineer Herbert Saffir and meteorologist Robert Simpson in 1971. It was developed mostly by Herbert Saffir because he was tasked with studying low-cost housing in hurricane regions by the United Nations. While studying this, he realized that there was no good scale to track the effects of these hurricanes, and in order to find out what this low-cost housing was going to come to, he developed a scale for tracking effects of hurricanes and based his model off of other natural disaster scales such as earthquakes. In this manner, he compared measurable facts, so comparing to earthquakes, so the intensity of an earthquake, and for hurricanes, the wind speeds, and then developed a grading system that tracked how much damage will be done based on how intense the measured wind speed factor would be. So today, the scale determines the wind hazards of approaching hurricanes, and a Category 1 would be a minimal hurricane, barely above a tropical storm, and then Categories 3 through 5 are considered major hurricanes. A Category 5 is the worst and then anything above a Category 5, we're going to have to restart that. Alright, so now we'll talk about the categories of a hurricane. As you can see here, we have the Category 1 with sustained wind speeds at 74 to 95 miles per hour. But it's also tracked at 64 to 82 knots, which is used for since it's a seaborne storm. And then scientifically, it would be tracked at 119 to 153 kilometers per hour. So these winds can cause damage to roofs, the shingles on roofs, or the siding and gutters of the houses. It can snap large tree branches or uproot and snap shallowly planted trees as well. Damage to power lines can result in several days or several weeks worth of a power outage. So these storms have been known to cause storm surges of up to 4 to 5 feet of water. Hurricane Isaac was a Category 1 hurricane in 2012 that occurred in Louisiana. Category 2 hurricanes are 96 to 110 miles per hour, with other speeds being 83 to 95 knots or 154 to 177 kilometers per hour. So this wind will cause extensive damage to the roofing and siding of a house. The shallow-rooted trees or power lines can be snapped in half, blown away, or damaged severely. And this will cause several weeks to several months worth of power outage, and the storm surge that can be caused by these storms can reach about 6 to 8 feet in water. A hurricane that occurred here was Hurricane Dorian in 2019, which occurred in the Bahamas. Category 3 hurricanes are 111 to 129 miles per hour. This is considered a major storm with winds that can remove roofs, decking, and other upper portions of the roofs. And so the trees will be snapped and blown down onto roads, and electricity and water will be unavailable sometime for an extended period of time. So storm surge height on these storms can be up to 9 to 12 feet. An example of this kind of hurricane would be Hurricane Wilma, which hit Florida in 2005. Category 4 hurricanes have speeds of up to 130 to 156 miles per hour. These are even more major storms with winds that can destroy entire roofs or entire sides of a house, and will cause power poles and trees to litter the roads, with other factors such as flooding or storm surges, making the region uninhabitable with large power outages. Okay, and the storm surge height for these storms is around 13 to 18 feet of water. Hurricane Frederick was a hurricane that occurred in Florida in 1979. That was Category 4. Category 5 hurricanes are 157 or above in wind speed. They are considered the severest of these storms, where wind can destroy entire houses. Trees and power lines will be knocked over, and the other factors can make these regions that are affected by this storm uninhabitable for several months at a time. The storm surge that can occur under these kind of storms can reach 18 feet or higher in water. And a hurricane, Camilla, was a Category 5 hurricane that hit Mississippi in 1969. And now what we have is the coming soon hurricanes. These are hurricanes that are freaks of nature, reaching well above what is to be considered normal. And so these storms are super speeded and are on steroids. If you did not leave when you were told to, you should be questioning your life choices at that point. They rarely can be called anything above a Category 5 because there is nothing categorized above a Category 5. So storm surge like this could reach storm surge like this could be considered like 25 feet because that is a little bit high for even a Category 5. And an example of this storm would have been Hurricane Patricia, which hit Mexico with a sustained wind speed of 215 miles per hour. We'd like to give a special thanks now to the National Hurricane Committee of the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration and Google Generative AI. Now, carry on. Some issues with this scale are that it does not factor in water-based factors such. Issues with the scale is that it does not track water-based factors such as the storm surge levels or the rainfall and flood potential. It does also not take the storm's duration into account or the costs of property that are uninsured. One of the things done to improve this is the addition of the Helene Flood Linger Scale, which is an add-on to the original scale. But this also tracks wind categories, flood risks, surge risks, and has a duration modifier to track how long a storm will last. Thank you. And here is a video of a hurricane. Boom, 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 boom.